What is up, fellow bench formers? Welcome to your daily fantasy. What's up, guys? Day 1 of week 23. And I don't think we have lots of good news today. But yeah, my name is JJT with Komish Eric. Komish, not a good start for lots of managers on day 1, especially if they have the players that were ruled out or got injured over the past either few days or just today as well in today's game.
Yep. Let's start with who? My guy, Evan Mobley in the Invitationals.
We can start with Evan Mobley.
Yeah, he's my guy in the Invitationals. I was really hoping for blocks. That was my strategy this week: blocks, steals, rebounds, field goal. This is a big blow because 5 games he played one half. I doubt he's gonna come back this week. I really don't think he's gonna come back this week. Last time he got injured, he was out for a week or two. So that's how it goes, I guess. They are also out Garrett Allen. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, players like Markkanen, Kevin Love would have increased.
Moses Brown.
Yeah,
Moses
they might
Brown.
use him. They used him
Brown.
the last time, I think. They used him
today. They used him around 6 or 8 minutes in the second half. So maybe he gets 15 to 18 minutes. Maybe you're in a 20-team league, 18-team league. How many team league? If he gets 20 minutes, I mean, rebounds, blocks.
Yeah.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Possible.
The other center who will be a big blow to the fantasy managers is Robert Williams. Looks like he's going to be pretty much out of the fantasy season. Meniscus tear. He's not technically out for the season. I think he can still return for the playoffs, but at least for the fantasy season, this week and next week, the chances of him coming back next week is pretty much none.
Slim. The report, but we did say that in our last week, I think yesterday, we did mention that the injury didn't look good. It seems like a season-ending one. I mean, regular season-ending one because there's only 2 weeks. And the report is meniscus tear. So he's out. The best case for them is he comes back sometime in the playoffs. So we could drop Robert Williams. And, well, I guess we could talk about the ads there. Grant Williams and Daniel Tays. Yeah. My opponent, Ken, was very, very good. He added Tays. He added Theo Maledon. So the two were very good ads for him. And I think Tays is a guy that you can consider. If you're going to ask me who I love between the two, I think safer is Grant Williams.
Because he has proven track record when
yes.
Any Boston players are injured. So he can really help you in your fantasy teams. LeBron James, again, we talked about him yesterday. He is questionable for tomorrow. I think, is he questionable or doubtful for tomorrow? So doubtful. Looks like he's not going to play tomorrow. And we don't know how long or if he's going to miss just one game or so. But yeah, at this point, I don't think he's still a drop. If you have an IL slot, might want to keep him at least for this week.
Yeah, this is LeBron. The Lakers, they need him. The only thing I can see LeBron just resting it out is probably AD possibly coming back soon because he already practiced. So if AD comes back, they could probably keep LeBron out. Although the Lakers are just half games up on the Spurs.
Yeah.
So
Spurs won today.
Well, as we said, the lineup, the schedule of the Spurs very easy. I think they have Houston or Portland back to back. They have an easy schedule, and the Lakers have a tough schedule. So I don't know what will happen. The Lakers looks like they could miss the playoffs altogether, play in altogether at this point with LeBron.
The only chance they don't miss the playoffs is if San Antonio tank. But again, like you said, the opponents are not difficult. They're going to be easy. I think any effort of them tank would still allow them to win because the efforts of the other teams, they're putting more effort in tanking than the Spurs, right? Houston, Portland, their efforts in tanking are higher, or they're putting more effort in tanking for them. Let's talk about, but before we go to Anthony Davis, maybe we can talk about some players with closure at this point. Players who have been declared out for the season. Starting off with OKC, SGA. Well, this is what we've been anticipating and waiting for, and now it's confirmed that SGA will miss the rest of the season. So Theo Maledon, like Komish said,
This one,
the idea.
This one is worse for SGA though. Although at least it came later than what other people were expecting. But this one, he doesn't have a really legit injury. Soreness is normal at this part of the season for players. So I think they just made up an excuse. And second straight year, he will not finish the season. It's tough.
I guess in fairness to SGA, this year was better.
It was, but managers picked him in the 30 range, 28, 30, 32. So that's kind of high for someone that you will not be able to use on week 21, 22, 23, 24. So unless you're week 18, 19, 21 league, you have to look, you have to consider this next season.
Again, I don't think, managers drafted SGA not knowing that he could miss the later part of the season. I think everyone anticipated it. In fact, everyone tried to trade SGA while he was hot early in the season.
I'm going to that point actually. When I picked him, you may ask, why did you pick him? I picked him early in the third round also. My thinking was what you said. When he gets hot, I know he's good. He's really good. He's probably a second round material. And I would say I'll just trade him when he's hot and get the value. But I'm just going to say that it's tough. It's easier said than done to trade SGA.
Yeah.
So look at
because everyone expects the same
everyone
way.
Knows. Everyone
knows why you're
it.
trading SGA.
Yes. So my point is, I know he's good. I'm not saying do not draft him, but maybe draft him with players that are safer. Number one. Number two, draft him at the right position, which has a position that has an upside, not the top 30. I'm not even sure if it's the top 40, maybe the top 50. That would be the better position where you have an upside there, because at least you have other players to rely on, not just him, because it's tough. And that's something I did. I drafted him number one. I'm wrong because I drafted him with Kristaps. I drafted him with Brogdon. So those are mistakes. You cannot do something like that. And then I tried to trade him, which I thought was easier, but it's not easy, especially in a veteran.
It's not easy. I tried to trade my SGA for Jimmy Butler. Actually, if I think about it, looking back, I would have preferred SGA because there was a stretch where in our playoffs in that league, he was really good. He was playing well. Jimmy Butler missed a few games during those playoffs, so I think not getting Jimmy Butler was a blessing in disguise for me. But yeah, SGA, at least I and like you said, everyone expected him not to play the whole season.
If you want to win a championship, SGA might not be the guy. If you want to get to somewhere like the final semis, okay. But if you really want championship, and you have him as your second round or third round pick, it will be not impossible. Well, I almost won with him, so it's not impossible. But the chances are lesser. Less. Give you a harder time.
Yeah. Other players who also will be out for the season, Miles Turner. He's a drop now. We expected this. We expected this early on, really early, even before the fantasy playoffs. That it doesn't look right, but there was no confirmation yet. That's why it's so hard to drop a player like him. It might end up like a Chris Paul situation, right? Wherein he was dropped and then he came back early.
Could have happened, but
this is Miles Turner though. This is Miles Turner, and the team is Indiana, who is also tanking. So I guess that's the reason why.
Similar to SGA, next year when you draft, have to put this into mind. He has not ended the season. I think the past 3-4 years.
No, he hasn't. he hasn't, and he's always hot early in the
It's
season.
always hot early in the season and fizzles out, right?
But compared to SGA, I think he's an easier player to trade than SGA.
Before, I don't know next year. I don't know next year. A lot of people are irritated. A lot of people are angry, and people will remember. People will remember already. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. It's probably not even the third time. This happens.
I couldn't remember the last time Miles Turner was able to end the season healthy. So this is just one of those times as well. Jeremy Grant also
out for the season.
Out for the season. So this gives more chance for Marvin Bagley to showcase himself, audition for Detroit or for any other teams, right? So for that matter, and maybe Isaiah Stewart gets more run. I'm not sure if Olynyk still a viable option.
He played the last time, but viable, I don't think so.
For Miles Turner, though, we've been talking about the replacements for Miles Turner. They've been playing for quite a while now. Jalen Smith, Goga, Isaiah Jackson still out. I'm not, keeping my hopes up for Isaiah Jackson. It seems like he is a very injury-prone player with the limited exposure that he's had with the NBA.
And O'Shea is also out today. Was out today with suddenly with back issues. So who's left? The Taylor guy, Terry Taylor.
Yeah, Terry Taylor.
I think he played 30-something minutes today. Kiefer Sykes, Lance Stephenson. No mass ads here. I know they'll get minutes, but
wait till week 24. I think week 24 is where we get a clear picture. If they try to sit out Haliburton, Buddy Hield,
possibly.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Last week,
season, what's preventing them from doing that? They only have 8 players or 9 players right now. So if they rest Brogdon and Haliburton, they're gonna have enough players. So they just rather rest Brogdon, get it over with, play Hali and Hield the rest of the way. I think that's what will happen. They don't have enough players.
That's gonna be good for Haliburton and Hield owners. Anthony Simons is also out for the season. Josh Hart, you can drop Josh Hart, I think.
Drop Josh Hart. Drop
Trendon Watford. Yeah, Trendon Watford. The injury of Trendon Watford does not look good, so I don't think he's worth a roster spot at this point. But there are some good news. Well, potentially some good news. This could end up being a Chris Paul situation last week. Anthony Davis, Paul George, 2 first-round players who are expected to return. Maybe not this week, but could be next week or late this week.
But the percentage of leagues still playing right now, I would see very little.
Yeah,
that's one. Second is the percentage of leagues still playing that still has Paul George in their lineup is little. So this is
I mean this is like a Chris Paul situation wherein these players might have been dropped already.
I agree, but I just gonna say that this is like Paul George giving you a middle finger, like your season's done. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm ready. I'm coming back.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen much Paul George. In fairness, in the waiver wire, I haven't seen much compared to Chris Paul. I don't know. Maybe because
all the Paul George owners have been out already. They didn't care anymore.
For a long time.
I mean, maybe they really didn't have a chance to make it to the next round or the playoffs.
Yes,
so
that's true.
Owners really didn't care about him anymore.
Do you have Paul George in any of your leagues available?
Yeah, in the invitationals, and I was out early.
In the invitationals, I don't think he's there.
No, I have Paul George. I
mean, is he available in any of your waiver wires?
I think he was. I just don't know which league because there have been a lot. But yeah, I think he was available. Anthony Davis is more widely available.
Yes, Anthony Davis. But I guess not anymore. In the few leagues that are still alive, are still going on in my leagues, none of them have Anthony Davis. So.
So but if we're able to pick them up, this, like I said, this could be a Paul George situation or a Chris Paul situation all over again, where you pick these guys up and then they play and then they make a difference. I though kind of doubt it's going to be a Chris Paul situation wherein the impact is as big. But still, Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, and without LeBron, there's really no one there. So I think they'll rely on Anthony Davis. Also, the injuries are not the same. The Anthony Davis injury is what? The knee?
Knee. Yeah. Paul George is the elbow, but given what we said, we learned should be Paul George should come back better in shape because it's just the elbow. And I think he's in better shape. The problem for me is that the Clippers and the Lakers. The Clippers, they're very, very, very conservative. They won't risk, and they don't need to do anything. They don't need to win. They're locked in up to the 8th spot. So there's really no motivation. Unlike the Lakers, they would need AD, as you said, because LeBron is going to be out. So AD should be the better option there over Paul George.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the news or updates on some of these players. Let's talk about a few waiver wire players. Isaac Okoro, in case he's still available, I've seen him available in a few leagues. They have 4 more games this week. Lamar Stevens is another guy that might benefit without Evan Mobley. Who else? Are there any other centers other than, Markkanen who plays center for the Cavs? Moses Brown.
I think Ed Davis, if he's still there, I don't know. Ed Davis.
I think these guys are a wait and see kind of thing. They get hot on the second game.
Yes.
See who plays in the second game. Add them for the third game. I think they have a back-to-back schedule next. So it's hard to add them at this point because we don't know what will happen. They might play a little smaller with Kevin Love, Markkanen, and Okoro on the front court, right? So we'll see. Wait and see for Moses Brown and Ed Davis. But Isaac Okoro, I think, should get more usage. So yeah, should be an ad here. For Portland, we talked about CJ Ellaby, who had I think he had 10 rebounds today.
I think double-double, right? I think he had a double-double today.
Yeah.
One person asked me about who I think would be a sleeper this week, and I gave him 3 names, and all of them actually performed well. Ellaby is one. And we were talking about Ellaby not really performing well. And I said, yes, that's why I'm not really 100% sure. But Watford is out, Hart is out. He's just going to get the minutes. And he's just going to, sheer number of attempts and opportunity. He's going to get what he did today. He's going to get rebounds and steals for sure.
Yeah.
The points probably sometimes 9, sometimes 12, sometimes 15. If he gets hot, 20. So there's upside there. I think Ellaby is a good ad.
Yeah. Ben McLemore, in case you need threes. There are a lot of options for threes. McLemore is one. Later, Peyton Pritchard is another who's been really hot these days. So those guys, in case you need 3-pointers, can be your options. Another player from Portland, Brandon Williams, in case he was dropped before. He played well again. And there's really not many options there for Portland.
I guess we could rank them. I think Eubanks is number 1, but I don't think Eubanks is available. Eubanks is number 1. And then I like Ellaby, I like Brandon Williams, and then Chris Dunn. Those, as you said, those 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ben McLemore, specialist. Need threes. I think he's gonna score a lot of threes. These 5 are the only ones in Portland, but all 5 of them I think should be rostered if you are in your playoffs right now, in your final semis or whatever it is. You should get these guys.
Yeah. Dillon Wright, in case you need some steals and blocks.
Yeah. Dillon Wright.
He started today.
Yep.
And had 3 steals, 2 blocks, I think. He had a solid across-the-board number. As long as Dillon Wright gets the minutes, he's gonna be
Dillon is a better version of Tybull right now. Tybull is so irritating. I'm just gonna rant a little bit.
Actually, that's true. That's true.
I mean, he's not done anything.
The only reason I'm not dropping my Tybull is that, so hard, right? If your opponent gets him and then he suddenly explodes, you just don't know. You're so close to it, so close to winning, so close to the end. And that's the time you drop and then he plays. But yeah, I agree. Dillon Wright is a better player overall. I mean, not just the steals and blocks.
Yeah, because he has assists.
Yeah, can give you assists. He can score better. Although Tybal has been scoring better lately.
The difference is Tybal has the minutes is same.
Here's the thing. I watched games of Philadelphia recently, and teams they know already. They know Tybal is the threat there on the defensive end, and teams try to stay away from him. So if you look at some of the Philly sets, some of the the opponent sets, they're trying to get Tybal away from any of the action, keeping him away from players who will score, keeping him away from the passing lanes, that they, switching him to players who will not be as relevant as some of the guys are their stars. So I think teams already are adjusting to him, and I think that lowers the chances of him getting the steals, getting the blocks, because they're staying away from him in games. And he's also getting into foul trouble. That's another problem. So add that together, I think that's a disaster.
Well, another thing is, outside of those two categories, he really doesn't get to help any because of the usage monsters of Harden and Embiid and Maxey and Harris together, those four. That's why rebounds. How is he going to get 8 or 9 rebounds when Harden and Embiid are getting all the rebounds? Assists. Maxey and Harden are getting all the assists. So where will he help? So that's a problem. The only thing about Dillon is that DeAndre Hunter didn't play today. Gallo has an elbow injury. That's why he started. Yeah. But if Hunter plays, then Dillon goes back to 18, 19 minutes. Probably not enough. Whereas Tybal gets 30 plus minutes. He just doesn't do anything with it.
No, he's not getting 30 plus minutes. He's getting around 25 minutes.
Somewhere there. I mean, higher. Yeah. He's starting and getting high 20s. Sometimes he gets 30 maybe, but minutes is there, unlike Dillon.
Yeah. In fairness, though, the scoring has gone a little higher for Tybal since James Harden arrived. I guess it's because he's been cutting more. I've watched some games. Been cutting more, trying to get himself open inside the paint. So that's why he's scoring more. But overall, been quite disappointing. I think next year, the guy really that you would want for steals and blocks is not Tybal anymore. It's going to be Herb Jones.
Herb Jones.
Herb Jones is the steals and blocks guy that you want for next season. So yeah, it's just that we don't want our opponents to get Tybal and gives us 5 or 6 steals in one of those games against us. So that's Dillon Wright, Isaiah Roby with SGA out. Basically, I don't think Basically is gonna play still.
I don't think so. And I like Roby. Even before the start of the week, I said pick up Roby. And yeah, he burned us a lot of times, but I think this is the time. This is time to pick him up.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be playing anyone else at the center position. Is there other options? There aren't.
Olivier Sarr, as we said. But Sarr is really, I mean, they will still need to play both of them. None of them can play 48 minutes. So, yeah. So there. Plus the fact that Trey Mann is also out with a hamstring thing. So, I don't know who's left. Kretschky, or whatever you pronounce him. Lindy Waters, Jeremy's favorite guy.
Lindy Waters, the guy who killed me 2 weeks ago.
3-pointers. These guys are 3-point shooters. So they could add them. But of course, as we said, Maledon, Poku, Roby, must adds. These 3 must adds.
Damian Jones, Trey Lyles, and Chimezi Metu in Sacramento. Of the 3, I guess Jones is the best add here. Or is it Lyles?
For me, it's Jones. He won't give you the Lyles numbers or the Metu numbers that sometimes happen, but he's just
more consistent.
Yeah. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, something like that. Consistent.
Yeah. And we talked about Grant Williams and Daniel Pace. I think they are the priority ads. Am I right?
Yeah.
Is it Grant Williams over Roby? No, I think it's Roby.
I go Roby, Grant Williams. Those two. And then, but if you add Maledon, actually I like Maledon also. The 3 of them. Well, different stat set anyways. So the 3 of them.
Depends on what you need. Yeah. Peyton Pritchard, like I said, is a specialist at this point. If you need the 3s, he's there. Josh Richardson.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well for the Spurs, but I'm not sure if they want him to play well. But
Well, I don't know. But I know a lot of people are, we've been talking about Melton. I posted something about Melton. But Josh Richardson is kind of a poor man's Melton. It's tough to find something like poor man's Melton.
old man
Old man's
Melton.
Melton. And it's because even if Basel came back, they're out Lonnie Walker and McDermott. So there are minutes right now off the bench. Primo is good. I love Primo's game, but Primo is not ready. Primo's not ready. He's just starting because Popovich wants to make it hard to win, but they're just winning.
No, they have a good schedule too. They've been
Yes,
going
they have
up
a good.
against other tanking teams. So maybe next week could be a problem for some of these San Antonio Spurs guys. Plus, DeJounte is still playing. I'm not saying he shouldn't be playing, but he is a big part of San Antonio's success. Uh, so I think that's it. But Josh Richardson, in case you need in your deeper leagues. Josh Christopher from the Rockets. Well, the Rockets, they rested Christian Wood. So
They
maybe
rested Wood. Yeah,
this
they
is
rested
Sengun
Wood.
time. The last 2 weeks.
Sengun is probably not available, so I put Christopher. I love Josh Christopher is a sneaky assist guy. He's a sneaky
Yeah.
assist guy, and Eric Gordon. I don't know if he's coming back, but Christopher
No, I'll be
could be
surprised
added.
if he's coming back. I mean, the younger
Another
guys have already been ruled
another
out of the
team.
season.
Yeah, another team that rested is Boston. They rested Jalen and Tatum today, so that's annoying. I mean, imagine
Yeah.
you being in the finals and not having those guys to start your week. So
Well, at least it's a start. I think, I'd rather miss them at the start than, miss them at the end. At least it's easier for you to adjust. So yeah, but I'm expecting them to play the next game because I've got some Jalen Browns and still playing and still in the semis.
me too. It's a finals one.
So I'm hoping he plays the next game. All right. So yeah, that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. We are 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks remaining.
Less than
2 weeks. And we'll talk about. Wait, let explain to me the roto thing. Let's do it here in our quickie. So if you're playing roto,
okay. It's just that the centers in roto, there's 2 center slots and 3 util slots, right?
Yeah.
So center, you have 82 games per slot, so that's 164, and then util, I think 82 to 264 or 246, something like that. What you do is you don't maximize that right in a day. Let's say you already have 80 center.
Oh yeah, okay. So you have 2 slots, but the one listed there is just 1 slot. Right?
Just make sure that you play until 81, and then you play until 245. One less. You play one less, and then on the next day you play 2 centers. So what will happen there is Yahoo will not choose 1 center. Yahoo will count both centers, even if you only have 1 more game available in Roto. So instead of 82, Yahoo it will become 83.
Yeah,
it's a glitch. I don't know if Yahoo has fixed that this year, but every year we've been doing that. In util slot 245, if you add 3 more util slots, that become 248. So you add 2 games. So you're basically adding 3 games. So that's, I mean, I don't know if it factors into your matches or in your roto standings, but still 3 games is 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games is 3 games. I mean, if you're down a few assists, a few steals, you could use that to your advantage. So yeah, I would try that because I've been asking about some roto so that I can maintain my second spot in our first roto league. So yeah,
maybe you could talk about your roto the next days.
We'll see the roto. I think the potential winner there has killed it really with the trades the most. I think I haven't talked to him really, but it looks like he's a very experienced roto player.
You can count how many points you will end up with at this point. You can count it. You will know. What you do, another tip, if you're number 2 or number 3 or number 4, look at number 1, see where he ends. If he has, I don't know, 100 something points maybe, or whatever.
No, he's got 93 something.
So 93. So you look at every category, look at wherever, best case scenario, worst case scenario. So you will see that maybe he ends up at 90 or ends up at 95. That's the range, 90 and 95. And see if you can reach that. reach the 90 at least. If you can't reach the 95, just try to reach the 90 because it gives you a chance. If he somehow, gets the worst case scenario, then you might win.
Yeah.
So that's what you can do.
Let's see. Now as we approach the tail end of the season, Roto becomes more exciting now because especially if you're there up there. If you're way down, it's not gonna be exciting. But if you're way up there, like I'm second and just trying to maintain that second place because I feel like it's a good accomplishment for me playing Roto alone without a co-manager in Comish. So I'm learning, but yeah, it's I think placing second would be a good finish for me. I have to see where I could end up, but based from my computations, I don't think I'll reach that high, 90, or I think the best case for me is around 86. I'm at the 81 at this point.
So you're 12 points down.
I'm 11 points down, yeah. 11 points down. So that's a lot as well. And the games he hasn't really maxed out any games. So I think he's really just on track. So that's why I said I think he's a very experienced Roto player. He didn't max out because some of the mistakes of other managers that they max out a lot of their positions already this early. Like they play a lot of players at the start. This guy just, played it just right and made the right moves. In the middle of the season, he made trades that were to his advantage, category need trades. So I think he's a very experienced manager as well. All right. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in the coming days, I guess. And but for now, good luck to your week 23, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.